Roll and Write Castles of Burgundy game. Now, the Castles of Burgundy is a larger board game that is very popular. From what I hear, I haven't played it, but I've heard a lot about it. It seems like it's got a bunch of reviews on Amazon, that kind of thing. It's pretty high on Board Game Geek. And so this is a game that I just wanted to take a look at and see what some similarities were, and I just really enjoy Roll and Writes. It's nice and small, so I can run and gun with that. So that's why I went for this. And I have enjoyed it enough that I may look into Castles of Burgundy again. It just looks like a longer game than I probably want. But this is pretty straightforward, pretty simple. A couple of things I really like about this that are different from some other roll and write games. And one is there's a die in here. You can maybe see where I'm pointing there. There's a die in here that is basically the counter for how long you play. And you play for a certain amount of time, and you check off these boxes, but there's a timer here that has either 1 or 2 on it. And so if you roll the 1, you just check off 1 box and you go ahead and play that round. If you check off 2, then you can still play that round, but there's kind of some unique things you can do. You can sell some goods to get victory points and different things like that that are just kind of fun, unique things to add to the game just a little bit. Now, you do check off 2 boxes, and so the game does go a little bit faster when that happens, but you're rolling it enough, and it's less likely that you'll roll the 2 than the 1. But you've got 2 colored die, and you have 2 that are just 1 through 6, and so you roll all 5 of these dice, the timer and the other 2 sets, and you're going to choose 1 color and 1 number, and there's different a bunch of different places you can go on the map here. There we go. I'll just pull out one of these. There's this map right here that you can see fairly well. There's these things on the left that basically shows you how these different regions work. So the purple, you have to have obviously the purple color, but you have to have a 1 or 2 to put it in one of those sections. The gray, you have to have a 3 or 4 and a gray. The blue, you have to have a 5 and a 6, or 5 or 6 and the blue. And then the orange has to be different. So for these orange sections, like this section of 3 right here that are all grouped together, I could do 1, 2, 3, I could do 1, 4, 5. They just all have to be different. And so for this one orange that's all by itself, you could make that any number at all. For the green, you're going to choose one of these greens to start at, and once you do that, you go ahead and mark that off, and you get that ability, and so you get that little bonus. There's some bonuses that help you change either the color of the die or the number, which are really, really helpful little things as well. But the green, it has to be equal to a number that is around it. And so if I had this purple right here, let's say I had a 1 right there, then I wanted to get this green, and I rolled another 1, I could check that off because I'd have that. Now, you don't have to have, maybe you do, never mind. And then yellow, they have to be the same number. So like these down here would both have to be whatever number, but they have to be the same. And you still have to have the yellow, of course, as well. So that's basically how the game goes. You start at one of these green castles, and then you have to work your way out from there. So you have to build off of what you've started on. As you complete these, the earlier you complete them, you get more points for these different groups. You have all these different little things that you can use to change the dice a little bit depending on what you're trying to do. You could change the color. If you have the purple, you could change the number if you have the orange. So really, really nice balanced out game depending on, I mean, just how you're playing the game. I think works really, really well overall. Last thing to note here, there are some different things you can circle when you complete. Like if I get all of the purple crossed off a number in every single one, then you get 4 points if you're the first person to do that, or 2 points if you are following that. Overall, pretty fun, pretty straightforward, nice and small. It is it is pretty small, but I think I like the fact that it's small because then the box is small. And I like that a lot because this is a game that you could very, very easily take to a coffee shop and play. It does have a solo version as well, which is basically the exact same game with like one little variant, which does work actually really well. But overall, very impressed with this game. Fairly straightforward. As far as a roll and write, this one is a little more strategy than a lot of them, which I enjoy. I really do. So that is the Castles of Burgundy dice game. I would recommend it if you enjoy Castles of Burgundy, I think. I haven't played that, but I know that the styles are similar enough that you'd probably enjoy this, and there's still some strategy in this that I think you'd enjoy this. Enough similarities in there with some of the different lands and things like that, so I think you really would enjoy this game. Nice and easy to throw in a backpack and play on a plane, play on a train, play on a table at a coffee shop. So that is the Castles of Burgundy, the dice game. Hopefully that gives you a nice little touch and a taste of what this is, what it does, and why it may or may not be right for you. Thanks.